welcome to our first podcast. The one that I'm gonna narrate, my host
Juan,
Tim, and Chewy, a horror story. Alright, so before we start, I want to ask you guys. For you, what would be the easiest way? Or like, not even the easiest way. What would be the way that you think you're gonna die? Like that you're like, I do this shit, or like this shit happens to me so often that's how I'm gonna die. Or like, I think I'm gonna die by old age.
Oh, I'm gonna motherfucking die.
probably
drowning.
getting run over.
Huh?
Probably getting run over.
Why?
Because there's been so many times where like the crosswalk turns on,
Okay.
and then I'm about to cross, and then the car just zooms by. And
Okay.
like the only thing that saves me is that I always wait a little bit. So I'm like, one of these days, it's just gonna happen.
And then drowning?
Drowning.
Why?
Honestly, it's not even because I go near the water too much. It's more just the fact that just, I don't know. You always hear people saying it's the most pleasant way to go and whatnot.
Drowning?
Because it's less suffer. Yeah, that's what doesn't make sense to me.
Have you almost drowned? It's horrible.
Yeah, I've almost
That's
drowned.
just horrible,
That's why
yeah.
it's terrible.
You-
I don't understand how people can say that, and then they'll turn around and be like, "Oh, dying by stabbing is horrible." I mean, obviously it is, but I mean, come on. They
Like,
downplay drowning
drowning
so
so
much.
much.
You, you can feel your lungs filling up
Like,
with water.
exactly. Alright.
It's like hearing a little Sonic timer in the background.
Alright. What if I tell you the most ridiculous yet non-way to die is dead by your bed? Like
Yeah.
your bed kill you.
Is it wrong that I say it's believable?
Okay, but the story that I'm about to tell you guys, it is not believable.
I mean, you got like those little flip beds and whatnot, like, right? You've seen those kids, like you have the pull-out beds. You got those kids, and they'll just put them inside the back into the couch,
Okay.
all rolled up and whatnot.
Alright, this one is similar.
I mean, they take them out, but
This one is similar, but the story goes about with a lot of nepotism and a lot of, corruption.
Interesting.
I don't know what you want from me.
Okay.
Sounds sexy.
Okay. Okay, so
Nepotism and corruption. Corrupted bastards.
the morning of Monday, 22nd of March, the girl Paulette Guevara went missing. 9 days later, after a thoroughly search and like a big viral campaign to find her, she was found dead in her bed,
Oh,
in a corner that is like this big, and no one find out. There was like over 200 people like searching inside the room for clues where she went, and they found her stuff in the corner of there's like a little gap between the bed and the wall, and she was like stuff in there.
how?
Okay.
Yes,
Let's
sir. Tell us how.
Okay, so let's go through the background. So basically, Paulette, she was born in a rich family. Guevara Farah. Guevara, they have like a fucking big business, and then the Farahs, they're like rich people from like I want to say Lebanon. They all moved down in Mexico, so they're rich.
Okay.
So their parents got married in 2001. Well, this Paulette, and she has a little sister, but we don't really care about the little sister much in the story. So they got married in 2001. They got the first girl, and then they got Paulette in 2005. She was born in July 20th. But there's a little bit tiny problem with Paulette. She was what's it called? She was born like 3 months before she was supposed to be born.
Premature.
Yeah, premature. Thank you. And because of that, she had like limited function. Because I think she also got a stroke because of that.
Makes sense.
So she needed special care. And when she was born, the doctors actually were like, she's not gonna, survive past 7 years. Or so they thought. So after that, she actually did like an impressive recovery, and then she make it all the way to the age of 4, with like limited like functioning to her brain, like where she couldn't speak, but she was able to walk, and she was able to communicate with like her limited speech. And like I said, the problem is like she needed a lot of constant care, something that parents didn't want to in a certain way, because like you'll see throughout the story. So so they hired these 2 ladies, Erica and Marta Casimiro, to take care of her and the other girl. But let's go to the setting. So in the night of the day that she disappeared, or like the previous night, the March 21st, 2010, her family came back from vacation. Well, this is what the official case says, that she went, they came back from vacation from like another apartment they used to live on. And they arrived to their hometown, and where they live is called Whiskey Lucan, Interlomas. So that's like the rich spot in one of, it's like, that's the rich part in Mexico basically. You're rich, you live in Interlomas.
So it's like the Beverly Hills.
Somewhat, yeah. So they arrived, and then the 2 nannies took her to sleep, and right before she fell asleep, the mom went to say goodnight. The following morning, when the 2 nannies were trying to take her to school, she was missing.
Oh.
So yeah. After that, one of the nannies went to tell the mom, like, hey, have you seen Paulette? And because usually she would like wake up sometimes earlier than someone else and go to play, go to the bathroom, whatever. So they went to ask to the mom, like, hey, have you seen Paulette? And she was, so this is one of the first things that is like, okay, she wasn't really paying attention to the little girl, right? So the mom's name is Lisette. So Lisette, she was like, I don't know, I'm kind of busy. She was on the computer, so she wasn't even busy. And it was like 2009. I don't fucking do anything in 2009 on the computer. So she went to, huh?
What?
No,
I'm just laughing.
So she went to check on the playground, because they had a playground too.
Dang.
She went to check on the pool, and she went to check like in different spots where she used to hide, and they couldn't find her. Fast forward to like probably like an hour looking for the little girl. They went to tell her that, hey, have you seen Paulette? Because she's kind of not here. And that was like, I don't know, did you check with your mom? With the mom? And they were like, yeah, that's why we came to ask you, like, have you seen Paulette? So like they come back to go look around, like if she was somewhere like missing, and like 4 hours seemed that she was missing. Okay, we're talking about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Have you ever been outside, like, when you were a kid and go outside and your parents go like, hey, where the heck have you been?
No.
I
I usually stayed in my area, so it was never much of a problem. Sorry.
I lived in an apartment complex, so I'd be out most of the day.
Okay.
But like,
do you ever went missing to the point that it's like your parents go check on you and they start freaking out like within the first 5 minutes?
Oh yeah, for 5 minutes, yeah.
Okay, for me, like my dad or my mom, every time there's like a few times I went missing as a kid, because I was playing with my friends, and like 5 minutes in, they would start like fucking freaking out.
Yeah.
We're talking about like these parents, they're 4 hours in when their kid is missing, and they're barely start to going like, yeah, she's gone.
That shows a lot.
Yep. And this is the best part. That's when they decide to call the police. And it wasn't even the parents. So the dad called his sister and he was like, hey, Paulette is missing. And the sister's like, what do you mean she's missing? And he's like, yeah, we can't find her. And she asked him, for how, like, when did she went missing? He's like 4 hours ago. And the sister was like, 4 hours ago. So that's when they call the police. That's when they call the police. And like, you see what I'm trying to say? Like, she was missing for 4 hours. So that's when they call the police. So 4 hours in, police arrive to the apartment. They start. So since they're like rich people, they put like the one of the not the commander but the sub-commander of the police of the state on charge for the search.
Okay.
Because rich people.
Yeah.
So they did that shit, and the police went in. We're talking about like probably like 60 people walked in, start searching around the house with canine units. All right, we're talking canine units, like dogs have better smell than us. All right.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Obviously.
The sub commander walked in. He checked the house thoroughly. They couldn't find anything. Girl was gone. So I think the next day and then the following day, they were talking about like the 24th of March. The aunt, she started making these like viral campaigns on Facebook, because that's like kind of like when Facebook started going, viral and whatnot.
Yeah, that was
like,
when everyone started signing up.
Yeah, exactly. So she started posting like posts on Facebook that is like, oh, girl missing, please help us out. I think she managed to put like a like bulletin board or like billboard in the
on the freeway.
On the freeway, yeah, where like it has a picture of her name, age, and like any information. Call this number.
Yeah, they were rich.
Yeah, apparently the whole billboard.
There were the problem though is that the aunt is doing all this shit. It's not even the parents. The aunt is doing all this shit, right? So
I mean, how much is it for a billboard here? Like $1,500, maybe $2,000 or something like that.
Probably around there.
And I think it's only for like a limited time. Well, I mean, obviously limited time, but
yeah, there's a lot of cash just for like that.
Yeah.
And she did that shit in 2 days.
Dang. She probably should have lived with her aunt.
Huh?
Probably should have lived with her aunt.
Seems like
She
the aunt
not
cared
be.
more.
Huh?
Yeah.
Seems like the aunt cared more.
Definitely. Like you start seeing like where are the parents on this scenario, right? So like on the 20, I think on the 25th they start getting like interviews like with the press, with the news, and they usually start like they first interview the mom, and you see the mom, every time she got interviewed, she's like, oh, I want my kid back. She never says my daughter. She never says I want Paulette back. She said, we gotta find that kid, and I want my kid back. She never says my daughter. Like, I don't know. At least for she never mentioned. She always says the kid. She never said anything else but the kid. And
you gotta be kidding me.
Okay.
So yeah, she was like, I want the kid, and then one of the I think the first interview, she gets an interview, and then she's like, oh, when I first saw Paulette was missing, I was like so surprised. I was like, what is this? Did she went to Hogwarts? Did she got Harry Potter? Magic? She made like this. Like, are you serious?
Did she legit say Harry Potter?
She did legit say Harry Potter. The following interview.
I'm so sorry. Just, oh come on.
You want something worse?
She got Harry Pottered. I'm sorry. I that's just funny.
It sounded like she was being treated like Harry, apparently.
Huh?
I wouldn't be surprised if she.
You want something worse?
Boy under the stairs. What?
The following interview, she goes like, "Yeah, I'm starting to think that she got abducted by aliens."
So she was just having fun with it.
She was like, yeah, she actually throws a like she cracks a little. She goes like, huh?
Drugs, maybe, I don't know. They are rich. You never know. She's got the money. She's definitely able to throw it around. Apparently,
but she literally said like, I'm starting to think that she got abducted by aliens, and then she cracks a little and she was like, ha ha ha, and it's like,
what the heck?
Your kid has been missing for like 5 days, and you're fucking throwing this kind of jokes. And then the last interview she got, we're talking about this interview. It was on inside the house on Paulette's room, and then where she was missing, right?
Okay.
So the last interview, she goes like, please, we gotta find this kid. And then at the end, she's like, well, at the very least, I still got my other daughter. At the very least. And it's like, that's
wow,
psychopath in the making.
In the making, she's already there.
Yeah, I know, for real, huh? So
is that a psychopath or is that a sociopath?
Sociopath.
There you go.
Yeah.
I figured that was the case.
So, you know,
corrected you.
Whatever. I agree though. I never said no, it's a psychopath.
Fair enough. So continue.
So on the 26th, the commander of the whole force in that specific state, his last name is Baz. So we're gonna
Baz.
Yeah. So incest right there, bro. So we're gonna refer to him as Baz for now on.
Right.
He got into the case because the governor at the time,
Rocky Baz.
his name is Enrique Peña Nieto, and if this sounds familiar, Enrique Peña Nieto in 2012 was the president of Mexico from 2012 to 2018.
So we're going higher.
Yeah. So the governor appointed Baz, aka the future president, appointed the
police chief.
The police chief, the commander,
Rocky Baz,
to get into the thing, right? At some point, I forgot to mention this. At some point, the best friend of the mom, she goes like, throws an interview, and then she says that she's been there since day one, and she's been sleeping inside Paulette's room.
The friend?
Yeah, the friend.
That's just weird.
It's weird because that's a missing children room, and you just sleep in there like nothing.
Plus, doesn't that tamper with evidence if there's any to be found?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a couple days, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're still going through the investigation.
And she said she's been there every day since?
Yes.
So she was there since the night.
No. Since
I mean, not the night of, but I mean like the night she went missing, like
the day after.
Yeah, that thing. Wow.
So she's been living in that room since the 22nd.
So, couch, man, couch.
That's just like, that was my reaction, because like, you just fucking with the evidence at that point.
Yeah.
It's like that room's still the evidence.
Not to mention, I mean, go sleep on the couch. They're also rich. I assume they have a really nice couch.
They have to have a guest room, right?
Right?
Exactly. It's like,
right?
Even with the 2 kids, you think there'd still be a guest room.
Yeah, you have like a nice like a nice apartment, because like that apartment, dude, they're like drinking water, they're pissing water, and they're showering water.
Recyclable?
No. It's all Fiji.
Oh my god.
All Fiji water, bro.
Wait, their toilet water is Fiji water?
Yes.
Why?
That's a waste.
Well, right?
They're rich as heck. They could do it.
So, let's... Just because you have the ability to do it doesn't mean you should do it. That just sounds terrible. That's like a giant waste of money.
And they don't have a guest room?
Fiji.
That's what I'm saying. They get Fiji water
in your toilet.
On the fucking... Yeah, on your toilet. But you don't got a guest room? You don't got an extra room? You're just like... Yeah, I'm showering in freaking
Fiji water,
expensive
in your
water.
Their dogs are drinking fancy.
They got little sombrero dogs. That's just them riding out in style. Let's go.
Yeah, I just imagined it.
And then about the same time, Beverly Hills Chihuahua came out. So it's.
I just imagine the house of the dog is like a freaking, like
Chihuahua.
Now made out of gold or something like that.
Oh,
Man.
I mean, it sounds like it. They got Fiji water in the freaking toilet. Why not?
They got 2 nannies, bro.
That is true.
What do you have a need for 2 freaking nannies?
They don't reach and they don't want to be responsible about it,
I know, but I mean, still, even then, you could have just hired a live-in nanny. I mean, that's just almost a wet nurse.
I think the nannies live with them.
They have both nannies living with them,
And they still went missing?
and they
Or
still
she
went
still went missing?
You'll see why. Okay, so
because she fell in the cracks of her bed. I'm guessing it right now. She fell in the cracks of her bed. A little her heart problems or whatnot shriveled her up. She completely dried out, and she fell in the cracks of her bed.
Yeah, but like, how did the
I'm guessing that now.
how do the cops not see that that's the case? Like,
You think they turned the mattress inside out too,
you
right?
think I mean, yeah, you see how they just like
you see
ransack the place.
Yeah, you see the inconsistency about it so far.
So they just didn't give a crap.
Yeah, or
It was all just
wait
kind
for
of for
it.
show.
So the 26th, we're talking about like what? That's like 5 days missing already.
Yeah, 5 days. You said the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 days missing. That's when the governor goes like, "Hey, go check on this case because it's going on." Blah blah. Right. And Bass goes and he takes the parents and the 2 nannies for questioning into a
Barely?
detention center. So he detained the 4 of them.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they took the nannies, like 2, they took the parents, they put them in a hotel separate, and then he comes out and he's like, oh yeah, this case went from missing / kidnap to murder.
Hey, wait. You said one of the nannies was a man?
No.
Oh, okay, never
2
mind.
females.
I thought I heard man.
Erica and Martha.
I was gonna make some.
Oh,
I heard Eric.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
I was gonna make some stupid nanny joke.
No, Erica and Martha. They were siblings.
It's a nanny and Manny. Manny nannies.
Alright, so.
So Rocky Balbaz took him to the detention center, and he was gonna work him over.
Yeah. So he goes through an interview the following day for like the whole day, and the whole day he's like going like.
He's got stamina.
I guess. Anyways, so he goes a whole day interviewing them, and then at some point, the dad cracks, and he says this on the interview: I give you my daughters alive. You took one of them. He says that to the mom.
What?
Yeah, I know, and that's like suspicious as heck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about that we're living in they're living in an apartment that is like Fiji water, right?
It's an apartment.
Yeah, it's apartment complex, but they're like rich, so they got closed circuit, so they have like security, they have cameras every corner, which by the way the security they never said anything,
Never bothered to check the cameras.
It was a secret. It wasn't like recording cameras. It was like they're there so the security is like, yeah, nothing's going on, and the security did say there was nothing going on. All right.
Wow.
So on the 28th, they take the nannies and they go through they run through a a scenery of what happened that night.
So we're at a week now.
Exactly right.
Yeah, a little over a week.
And then they start touching the bed, and we're thinking about that. It's been, like you said, it's been a week.
Yeah.
And you already know she got stuff in there, or she's stuff in the bed. The smell should be destroying the entire house of a cadaver,
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of her fluids and
I mean,
whatnot
a
should have
week.
leaked by now.
Exactly. And yet,
Probably not the body itself rotting, but at least all the fluids should have leaked.
right? So you see, and none of them is complaining about the smell. None of them check the smell, and they're still going through the room.
Probably just thinking it's the weird friend.
Maybe.
I mean, she's been staying there for a week now. You would assume that someone would have pointed it out, especially her.
All right. So the 29, they get the parents get arrested, and that's when like when the interview leaks out, where like he's like, oh, I give you my daughter's alive, whatever, and then you see them in the also in the report that the mom she's being very defensive, the dad is being defensive, but at the same time he's being like insecure, like he's freaking out. So they're like kind of like, you know, going through shit, you know. I think that's the 30th. The power in the apartment buildings that has Fiji water in the toilet goes out. Power goes out for at least an hour. They're not letting people in or out except for one single person. This guy, he works for the Bass guy, and he's known to be, his nickname is the Planter, because he's known that if you want evidence to be planted, he will plant
that type of plant.
Yeah, so he
I
goes.
I just thought something. They are rich. Maybe they have a bunch of powerful incense or something like that. Yeah, but covering up the smell. Maybe they thought it was the wood or whatever in the apartment.
No, they didn't.
Well, never mind. There goes my theory.
So the Planter that works for Bass goes in to go through a search of the house one more time. Right? During the power outrage, when the power went out.
When the cameras would be out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And where no one could see you walking in or out.
And everyone can hear you scream.
That's a good reference.
Oh, thank you.
I love the movie.
Who doesn't love that movie? There's something wrong with you if you don't.
I know, right?
Like, forget that. Taken away. Forget that it's just a good horror movie. It's just a classic.
Yeah. And it's a science fiction too. So.
Yeah, right? See, exactly. Okay, continue. So so we were starting to plant evidence.
Oh, he went to make a search through again.
Final check.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
30 minutes later, the power comes back. An engineer that is
just caught there, like
an engineer that is working on the case too, with the investigators, goes in, and he started moving around the bed. Because you can see this video too on YouTube, because like they posted on YouTube. The guys walked in with the search. The engineer started messing with the bed. He pulls the bed, and it's like the guy in the camera. He's like, "Oh my god! They fucking killed her. She's stuffed in the bed." And you can see her head. Okay, so the thing's kind of like this big, probably a little bigger. You see, like her head is popping out a little on the corner of the bed. Like the bed is like this, in the very corner. And the guy's like, "Oh my god, they fucked her up. Like they fucked her up like really good, because she was like stuffed there and she was like kind of purple and everything."
Oh.
So that video leaks.
So I stuffed her.
What the hell?
So that video leaks out on the internet, and like after that, they go through a final like statement from Bass. Oh, by the way, on that statement, Bass also gives up his position as the commander of the police, but later on he became like one of the secretaries of the president. So it's like, getting some favors there, huh?
So he didn't become Rocky Balboa's great UFC fighter.
No, but he did quit.
Boxing champ.
No, but he did quit, and he did find a missing girl. So,
I mean,
So he goes out and he gives this statement of so they found the girl. The girl, she accidentally died by asphyxia because she fell into the hole.
Asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation, thank you.
You're welcome.
So she died of asphyxiation because she fell in the hole, and then he make like a statement, or like he goes through the hypothesis of what happened. She was sleeping. She was trying to go to the bathroom. She rolled through the bed to the heel of the bed, and because there's a hole in there, she accidentally fell in there.
There's a hole.
Okay. Now you might seem like, oh, case closed, right? But then you see all the incongruencies with the parents, and then if you start seeing like, like doing the research about the little girl, she used to do this when she was a baby. Like she wouldn't suck on a pacifier. She would suck on her fingers.
So, something.
Yeah, on her fingers, but it wasn't the thumb. It was this thing. Kind of like doing this.
So she would suck on her middle and ring finger.
Okay, yeah. And then if you see the intel, she had these two fingers injured, like if she would have bite them like this. Right? So this is the hypothesis. I didn't come up with it. I got it from another podcast that kind of inspired me to follow, like, give this story to you guys.
Uh-huh.
So the guy, his theory is so they went on vacations, but the dad took the girls to one place, and then the mom, she actually went on to celebrate her friend's birthday to Los Cabos in like another state, like separate.
Los Cabos.
So they came back the night of the the night that she went missing. And in one of the interviews, the friend that lived there for like the 9 days, she says that they went to, the lady wasn't on an affair. They said it wasn't an affair with another dude, so that's why they went to Los Cabos.
With an affair. Ding.
And
Alejandro.
So yeah, I love you. So yeah, so she was within. She was in an affair with another dude, and so I guess at that point, like, you can tell, like, the guy's hypothesis says that she's in the point where she's like tired of her family life, and that's why she's like not paying attention to the kids. That's why they got the nannies and whatnot.
Okay.
And I guess that night of desperation, where she was like upset, and I guess the girl was, because going back, the girl was special needs. She was too, she was too annoying. She was acting out, whatever. The mom got tired. She grabbed the pillow, and that explains why the little girl. The girl was her girl.
Oh yeah.
And that explains why the asphyxia. And then he also says that if you see the records, when you start decomposing and something like that, your blood start going, like, if you're dead and you're like laying down like this, your blood start going down, and that's when you start getting purple, and like the upper parts get white.
Yeah.
So the best way to like prevent you to decompose faster, they put you in like something cold, right? In like a fridge. So if you see the little girl, she had like a fetal position, or like her blood looked like she was in a fetal position, and it was towards this side. So all the purple part was towards this side, and then the white part on the other side. So they must have put it in a fridge so she won't decompose that fast. like this, sideways.
Well, it would explain the lack of smell. If they put her in a fridge.
Yeah, but if we going through what the case said, that the parents were innocent and it was just an accident. Who does smell?
Yeah.
First of all, second of all, she was stuffed like this, so all the blood would be in the bottom, but it was on the side.
And wasn't there like canine units on the scene?
That's another thing. That's why I said like keep that in mind. Like there were canine units. They have better smell than us, and they're trained to find stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find the little girl. Nonetheless, we have the planter walking in, going searching the house.
So you just have to assume they just didn't care.
So yeah. So what the final thought of the guy is that the parents didn't care, and I guess they were burnt out, tired of it, and they were going through like economical crisis. But it's like, yet again, you have Fiji water.
I mean, you got Fiji water in your toilet. You're gonna have an economic crisis before too long.
But I mean, they're rich as heck, so.
Oh my God.
So
I have no money.
So what the guy said is like, probably they were tired. There was extra money spent on someone
Fiji water
with special needs. Yeah. So the mom just out of anger, out of something, just killed the girl, and then the dad helped her out, so none of them would get
this murder. And brought to you by Fiji.
Brought to you by Fiji water. You'll die of thirst.
No.
Exactly. So yeah. So they did this to the well, that's his final assumption. Is like, oh, they did this to the little girl. And then if you see, like, I think in 2011 or like 2012, like a few years after the girl passed away, they incinerated the body of the little girl.
A year or two later?
Yeah.
What's left? What is left to incinerate at that point? Because by like a year, her body should have mostly decomposed, shouldn't it?
Yeah, but still, you still got bones, you still got like some of the flesh.
What's the point?
To hide evidence.
Oh, okay.
You cannot go through ashes and be like, oh yeah, this is what happened,
Fair.
I don't know. Think of it like a very weird puzzle.
That's really fucked up, but I can see why. You go like this. So yeah, that's the story about the case Paulette. Also, no one got blamed. They're still living normally, and we still got a murder vet in the loose. Huh?
How? You'd think at the very least it would have been like, oh gosh, this seems kind of more like a cover-up. You're spending some time in jail at the very least for the parents.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but we're talking about, unfortunately, the circumstances, aka they're being rich, and like, we even have like O.J. Simpson getting away with murder here in the States. Imagine that shit down in Mexico, where it's like things are like more corrupt.
I love how we're still talking about the O.J.'s thing like 24 years later, something like that.
Probably.
Almost 25 years?
Probably.
Wow.
But we're talking about like O.J. Simpson got away with that shit.
Yep.
And like down in Mexico, if you're like, it's more easier, I guess, to get away with.
That's fair. Especially if you have money.
Yeah, especially with that money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the.
Here you go, Rocky Balboa. Start your.
Oh yeah, and that guy, he also got a promotion. He started working for the federal state,
Hey, see what I mean? That's exactly what I mean. Here you go, Balbass. Have your, I don't know, start your boxing career.
Exactly. Like that. Against Apollo Creek.
No.
Apollo Creek. Or Creep in this case.
No. They're bad.
That was horrible. Yeah.
You don't even have anything close to that. At least Rocky Balboas was close.
I guess. Yeah, guys, that was That was our first podcast. Hopefully you guys like it, enjoy it, and if you guys want more content like this,
any other recommended stories you want us to react to, just let us know, and we can do our best to go through